What's up, everyone? Today we need to decide if the credit card is for us or against us. So today we are going to talk about what is a credit card, how does it work, what makes it good, and what makes it bad. And I'll be sharing my personal tricks and tips of what I've done to make it work for me. My name is Siphelele. All the information that I'll be sharing today does not constitute to be financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm only sharing information and experiences of what I have seen in my personal financial journey and the people that are around me. So what is a credit card? A credit card will be a card a bank will borrow you with money or credit limit in it. So this amount will be approved after you've done a successful application. They've seen that you are eligible or you qualify for you to have a credit card. They will want you to make either a monthly repayment in full or a monthly repayment which will be a minimum amount of the outstanding amount, that is the money that you are owing at the end of every month. So if you've ever had a store card, any store in South Africa, you know that the store will give you a card with a limit that you can buy and you pay every time you buy. You can either pay a small amount, which is the minimum amount, or you can pay the full amount. Credit card and a store card, they work exactly the same. So how does the credit card work? Say you wanted to visit family and you wanted to buy plane tickets. You will be needing an amount of 6,000 Rand for your travel, and the bank approves for you 20,000 Rand. You may take the 20,000 Rand because you are thinking, I can use it sometime again in the future. Let me rather take the 20,000. You only use 6,000 Rand, which is for the plane tickets that you intended to purchase. At the end of the month, you are only expected to pay the 6,000 Rand in full, or you make the minimum repayment, which normally it's 5% of the outstanding balance. So it would be 5% of 6,000 Rand. You can make the minimum amount towards the outstanding balance every month until you have finished paying it. It does come with interest that is charged. It also has service fees. It also has initiation fees. It also has a credit insurance. Credit insurance will be based on your credit risk and the service provider or the bank that you'll be taking it with. So let's get to the fun part of the video. What makes this credit card good? The best thing about a credit card is it builds your credit score, and it builds it very fast. Though to build a credit score, you must be patient with it. To continuously make your repayments towards your credit card, but with time your score will eventually build up. My personal story with the credit card and how I saw it being good for me. I had a credit card with FNB. At the time that I had the credit card, it was between 18 and 20%, the interest rate. I probably had it for about 2 years. Around the time when COVID had hit and interest rates had dropped really significantly down, I wanted to find out if maybe I can be able to change with another bank also, just to see if my interest rate would be lower. I did a credit card application with Capitec Bank and they offered me 7%. I still had an outstanding amount with the credit card at FNB. I took the credit card with Capitec Bank and paid and closed off the credit card with FNB. Even though it seemed like I paid debt with debt, but at least I paid debt of a higher interest with debt of a lower interest. It also gave me an indication that my credit score has improved significantly, and that triggered in me that let me look into the property market at the same time. I do have a video that I will link on the cards about how I bought my first property for rental. In essence, a credit card is good because it helps you build your credit score. It will also indicate for you if you are eligible to buy a house or to buy a car? Should you be in the market for those? So what makes the credit card bad? What is the devil part about a credit card? Firstly, a credit card is not an emergency fund. Let's agree on that. A credit card is not an emergency fund. So when you have access to money that you are borrowed, it has a tendency of just somehow disappearing and we don't know what happened to it. And a credit card is one of those things that you had a limit to buy a plane ticket and your mandate or your plan was to pay it back in full or over the next couple of months and you are done with it. And somehow you find yourself that you have maxed that 20,000 within a space of 3 to 4 months and you don't know what you did with that money. If every time you see a sale sign, you are craving something nice, you want to clear your online shopping cart, and you use your credit card with the intention that you will pay it back when your salary is paid or when you get money. That, my dear friend, is the beginning of a very bad relationship with you and your credit card. Those small amounts that you keep on using with the intention of paying back, they eat up that credit limit so fast before you know it, poof, no credit limit. You've maxed it out. If you know that you struggle with discipline with a credit card, rather have a lower limit on a credit card so that you are able to pay it back either in full or a larger portion of the minimum amount that is required. The tip that I had promised at the beginning of the video, for your monthly groceries, your monthly fuel, I normally put that budgeted amount into the credit card. So in a way, I pay with the credit card from the budgeted amount when I do my weekly and monthly grocery shoppings. In that way, I curb the amount that I am going to spend on the credit card limit itself by using money that I have budgeted. I still continue to make the monthly minimum repayments that are required. Sometimes I go as far as when I'm standing at the till point, I look at the amount and transfer the money from my food account into the credit card and make the payment, just for me to be able to manage the limit that I'm using so that I don't overspend. Remember, in my previous video, I had shared that I'm also not perfect. I still have my flaws and I have made very bad financial decisions. So I also have maxed out my credit card. I've seen the good of the credit card and I've seen the bad of the credit card. I'm trying to pay my credit card, reduce my limit so that I curb the limit and make it low. So what I do on a monthly basis is every time I pay the credit card amount that is expected, the minimum repayment, I reduce it with the available amount. And the money that I say I put in for groceries and fuel, that would be the money that is available. It is no longer the limit that the bank has for me, but the money that I had budgeted for those two things. However, I have made the minimum repayment and what was available on credit, I have reduced because that balance is outrageous. So the last tip or secret that I can share is rather have a lower limit on your credit card, even if it's an amount of 3,000 range. Just as long it would be an amount that you use to build your credit score so that you are on the good, especially if you would be in the market of buying a house or buying a car. That small amount of limit that you have, you can either use a portion of it, pay it in full, or use the full amount and still pay it in full. Remember, if you have made any purchase and you pay them within 55 days of the purchase, you will be eligible to not pay interest on them. It's called the interest-free benefit. All credit cards, if not most credit cards in South Africa, have that benefit. But it is only on purchases. If you swipe your card to buy something or you buy something online, If you withdraw money from that card or if you transfer money from that card, you will not be eligible for the 55-day interest-free, even if you pay the money back in full at the end of the month. You need to avoid withdrawal and transfers. Keep it only to swiping and paying it back in full. You won't pay interest on your credit cards. But remember, you must do your due diligence. Check with your credit card provider what benefits do they have for you, and find out how can you make your credit card work for you. Today we said we need to decide if the credit card is for us or against us. So with that being said, this brings us to the end of our video. Thank you so much for joining us. Hoping to catch you on the next one.